People always ask me questions. I think because I'm the Imam, they believe that I have all the answers. Oftentimes, they forget that I have many questions myself. I remember as a child constantly asking questions about faith. Who is God? Where does He reside? What choices do we have in the affairs of our lives? Why do we have to pray 5 times a day? Etc., etc. I mean, these are the questions that plague the minds of all people, right? But it's not just the questions that have always amazed me, as much as the responses. You ask anyone today, and especially in the Muslim community, what is prayer, and why do we have to do it? They say, because God said so, because it says so in the scriptures, because we'll commit sins otherwise, etc. For some reason, these answers were never enough. One day, I realized that I had not asked my dad this particular question yet. So I went up to him and asked, "Dad, why do we have to pray?" And with the most loving smile, he said, "Because prayer is life." Life? I wasn't expecting that. I wanted to inquire more, but my respect for him prevented me from seeking further explanations. I kind of just logged it away. The lack of satisfactory answers never prevented me from practicing Islam. It made sense. Still, there was an element of spiritual void that was constantly annoying me. My dad's health was gradually dwindling, and one day, the loving, caring, extremely clever man that I owed everything to left this world. It was the darkest moment of my life. Drowning in melancholy, I reached out to a straw floating on water's surface. Prayer appeared to be one last thing I can cling to. And without hesitation, I prayed. And while I prayed, tears fell silently on my cheeks, washing away my dark thoughts. And gradually the tightness of my chest was fading. And boy, was that the most soothing experience I ever had in my entire life. For a few minutes, for the first time ever, prayer wasn't about form or shape, direction or structure. It was like water putting out fire. It was like nourishment to a soil that was dying. It was life itself. And suddenly I remembered my father's words. Prayer is life. So this is why we pray. Because it brings endless beauty to our hearts that could help us cope and manage. To be reminded of our most beloved friend and ally in this universe. On that day, which also happened to be the day my dad passed away, I was blessed with clarity of vision like I have never experienced before. After that, everything changed. My quest as a Muslim was to search for that balance between beauty and function in everything God has brought to this world. So today, if you ask me, why do you pray? I say, because prayer is the crowbar I use to pry open locked doors. Because prayer is the brush I use to paint beauty around me. Because prayer is how I communicate with my Lord and my beloved. Prayer is life. And I realized, if I lived all those years missing out on the true blessings of prayer, how much more beauty am I missing out on? We're at crossroads now. There's no doubt that the global Muslim community has lost much of its luster over the last few centuries. But as the poet said, much has been lost, but much abides. We're here to pick up pieces of our lost civilization and to contribute to our current societies. But we have to be sure that what we're contributing is symbolic of our heritage. Our God is beautiful and loves beauty. That's what we're offering here. Something of beauty to bring light back to hearts darkened by a harsh world. This is the legacy I plan to hand over to my children and them, their children after them.